Opportunities are clear. They're in small business, clean energy, manufacturing, high technology, and basic infrastructure. That's where the jobs are going to grow. So the issue is, how do you accelerate them? Who's most likely to do it? Second question, we can't have another stimulus. Where's the money? Well, there's lots of money out there. Corporations have $1 trillion in the bank that they don't want to spend overseas. They'd like to spend it here, and they would already spend it overseas. What do we got to do to get them to spend it? Banks have $1.8 trillion. You made them well. And to be fair, they are going to pay back, we know for sure, 92% of the TARP money will be paid back, maybe 100%. But it's time for them now to step up and loan. They can loan money and get this country going. They can loan. We're not talking about Wall Street meltdown, put $34 at risk for every dollar you got in the bank. We're talking about old-fashioned banking. You can loan $10 for every dollar you got in the bank. They could loan $18 trillion, and this whole thing would be over in 15 minutes. Really. So how are we going to get them loan? Third question is, if you're growing the jobs and you get them financed, are you sure we got the training and education people need to do them? The rest of this is all background music. Okay. So let's just look. Who's more likely to do those things? In small business, Patty Murray supported every single initiative and led some of them to provide tax credits to small business, tax credits to clean energy, direct investments to put us back in the forefront after losing a decade in building the solar, the wind, the geothermal, the electric car, the battery future that we need to bring America back. Now, and her opponent says it's all a terrible mistake. I'm not voting for any of this. I just want to make Bill Clinton's temporary tax cut permanent. I love saying this. I never had any money until I got out of the White House. But that is the single most inefficient thing you can do. 84% of this tax extension they want to do is for people with a taxable income of $1 million or more. Almost 60% people with a taxable income of $2 million or more. We will not spend that money to put America back to work. But if you give it to a small business person, if you give it to somebody making solar panels, if you give it to somebody making wind turbines, if you give it to somebody who's got a new idea for software, if you give it to somebody to get an education or go through a training program, America will blossom again, and people in my income group will do just fine, thank you very much, by helping ordinary people. Evidence. So if you want to grow the small business economy and the green energy economy, you don't have a choice. You have to support Patty Murray for the United States Senate. You don't have a choice because of the idea that if you want to get these financed, you don't have a choice. I already told you she's the only one in favor of giving the banks loan guarantees and other supports to loosen the money. Here's another thing. The Congress passed a Wall Street reform bill. Among other things, it will save Americans $5 billion a year in unjust credit card fees. It will protect you from misstated mortgages. But here's the most important thing of all. It gives the government, our proper agencies, the authority to oversee the big banks on Wall Street to bring their risk-taking more in line with community banks in Washington State. Now, you have to let them take a little more risk because they take private companies public and they do that. But you can't run a country where people can have job-killing, casino-like gambling schemes where they let these companies put $30, $35, $25 at risk for every dollar they got in the bank. That's what brought us down, folks. It was that plus the mortgages that couldn't be sustained. It was gambling. It killed jobs. It didn't create jobs. The Wall Street regulation bill is designed to say you got to have less risk and you got to loan money and we want you to make lots of money. We just want you to make it the old-fashioned way. Find the next Microsoft. Find the next clean energy company that's going to create zillions of jobs. Find the future. That's what you want to do. You can make all the money you want. The richer you get, the happier we'll be, as long as you're helping the rest of America instead of gambling away our children's future. That is what